What's up, Lake Fanatics? This is Pardon the Brick Eruption. I'm Mel. That's Corey. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's going on, man? Listen, it is May, and my voice. My classes, I've been doing assemblies back to back. My classes, straining my voice. It's doing too much, man. And the weather, one minute is like scalding hot. Today it was cold and rainy. Got this bipolar weather, man. Listen, man, I need something to get a little bit consistent, all right? If you're summer, be summer. If you're winter, be winter. I'm tired of this back and forth, man. My voice can't take it, man.
Yeah.
But how you doing?
You sound a little bit rough, a little bit of his hibiscus tea, clear that right up for you.
Right.
And you're the hardest working man in showbiz, man. You spread a little bit of Corey here for the kids, and a little there for the kids, a little there, and a little there. You got to slow down and get a real vacation in, friend.
I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping that hoping I could do that, man. But you know what, man? Sometimes that hard work gets overlooked. But it's all good because you know what? Making a difference. The kids know that, the parents know that, the schools know that. So that's what it's all about. But we're gonna jump into it, man. We got a lot of actually, let me kick this off because in school, when I got my test paper back, the one color I did not want to see on that test paper was red. Yeah. Because you know what red means? I got the question wrong. Yeah. And that means I didn't get that 100 that I needed to bring home to my parents to get that video game. I'm bringing home an 80. I'm bringing home a 70. That means I missed something. So there were some errors on that test. So one thing in Pardon the Brick Eruption we like to do, and we say it after every single show, we'll try to do better next time. So this is us trying to do better. We made some errors the last show. So my man, you can kick us off, man. What errors did we make and how can we correct these errors?
All right. First up on our error list from last episode, Manny's build, Manny's idea build name was El Morro.
El Morro,
which is a castle that was on the island of Puerto Rico.
Yes. I remember that
first one. Yeah, El Morro. Yeah.
So, but it's good that we made that correction. But we want to make sure that focus is on his current build because I know El Morro is not a current idea that he's promoting. So he's promoting his cobbler workshop. So let's make sure that we keep voting for it, folks. I mean, we want to get him across.
All right, second error was Brick World Chicago garage sales. I'll take onus of it. I had it wrong, but I had it 50% wrong. So do I get school credit? Do I get some credit? I had 50% wrong. And I'm going to show you the conversation. But I had it 50. What I said was that, I didn't want to pay to get in a garage sale to buy, right? And Mark came on to Friday Night Bricks because, I implored him to take a look at the end of PTP, which he did. It took him all about 2 seconds to jump in that stream. And he gave me 1-4 and kudos to I love that energy, Mark. I love it, and I always invite it because it's healthy conversation. But he's very passionate, and he's very passionate about his baby, which is Brick World Chicago. And so with that, I think I argued that I didn't want to pay to get into the garage sale, and that was it. Is that Mark? And here's the whole totality of everything. Mark was offering a 2-hour early window into the garage sale, and it went into a ticket raffle, right? Well, if you missed out on that, what happens at that point, if you didn't get a ticket from the raffle, then I got the ticket to the 2-hour window. I can sell this thing, and that's what was happening. And I was kind of trying to explain that to Mark, but you see where his passion was, so I let it ride, and I'm wrong. But that was what's happening. So to stomp out, and his idea of it was, hey, look, if I let this group go early, and in a perfect world, they'll get out, and then I'll let the general public in, and I'm doing crowd control. Well, you're not, because if I got that ticket for 2 hours, I'm in there 2 hours getting what I want, and then I'm waiting for that general public to come in so I can mingle. So I ain't going nowhere.
Listen, man, I remember.
conversation. Let me play the conversation. You see how passionate my man was.
All right, go ahead.
So, okay, let's see. We got somebody popping in again. Oh, woo! Mark's here.
Yeah. Hey, Mel.
Mark.
How are you?
What's going on, Mark?
All right. So you don't want to pay for a garage sale ticket. All right. So I'm talking about the end of your stream, where you shouted me out
matchup,
and
right?
said you don't want to pay for a garage sale ticket.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay to sell, or you don't want to pay to buy.
I don't want to pay to buy.
Well, you don't. No one has ever paid to buy at the garage sale, so I think your memory is a little corrupted on this one.
Okay, all right. Because
so
what was it? They said you had to have a ticket to go into the
yes. Those tickets to go into the garage sale are free.
Yeah.
So you enter a lottery to be part of the first 2 hours of the garage sale, and then after that, it's open for everybody. But why do you? I just curious. Why do you think we do that?
Well, I know there's something with crowd control, but there's a better way to. It's a better way to crowd control.
What do you think that? Tell me what you think that is, then, please.
Well, you can actually, instead of giving people tickets, because like if I give people tickets, that means that I don't know, if I got 100 people at a party and I only have 50 tickets, that means half of them don't get to go to the party. So instead of tickets, you should do time slots.
They are time slots.
The
tickets are
time slots for the people that sign up for.
Yep. Yes, that's what those tickets are.
Yeah. Well, I never got a ticket. So.
They're free.
Yeah.
Oh, so it must have run out. You were able to get a ticket. So we also limit it in the number of people who are like allowed in during. So yes, there's a lottery for timed entry. If you don't get that, it's then you just have to go in after the ticket entries are over. So the reason we do that is because let me put it this way. So our shows get very crowded. Yeah. And like the aisles get like
yeah, I'll stop it there for time's sake.
Listen, man, I remember that garage sale, and I remember walking by, seeing the line, looking in the room, seeing the crowd, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't need anything. I kept it pushing. Right. I came back and I'm seeing the flow of traffic. I'm hoping that this year they make that room a little bit bigger, because there were people walking on top of each other. Yeah. It was insane. It was bad. And this is something that if you go to a Lego convention, that is something that people look forward to, especially if it's if it's an adult theme. You have your public days, then you have the AFOL days. That's part of the AFOL days, where Friday you guys come in and you get to buy some of the sets that you don't want to go to a vendor and they're going to charge you. They're going to charge you that market value. You can go and you can talk to your boy like, hey man, I'm really needing this set. What kind of deal can you cut for me, man? Like, yo, man, I'll give it to you for this. Like, I bet I'll meet you at the garage sale. So, but yeah, I mean, I see your point. And if you're gonna do it as a time slot, do it as a time slot. I also see Mark's point where it was intended to be a time slot, but you cannot prevent people from saying, "Hey, I got this free ticket. I really don't need," and they're gonna sell it. So, there has to be some other means, of doing this, because people want it. People want to do this. So
yeah, that's an event that everybody wants, and like he's right. He's very valid. Like he goes on to say, like, Lego events are very friendly. People are friendly until you get to the garage sale, and then it's like a real bad poker game, and it's cutthroat. It is. It's real cutthroat, and if it's not managed well, it brings the best out in people. It does, because like I want that retired set. You want that retired set. I'm gonna knock the person down that's in the wheelchair, and I'm what I used to tell my shot putters, like, because I used
that's messed up.
I used to coach. I say, you elbow the midget and you smack the giant to get to where you want to be, like, and that's the shot putter's motion. You elbow the midget and you smack the giant.
What? Yo, I ain't never heard that when I was doing track.
It's the shot put motion. Think about it. If I'm in the box and I got that shot put right here, I'm elbowing the spin and I'm smacking the giant. There you go. I'm elbowing the midget, elbow the midget, smack the giant.
See, man, you just want the violence. That's your problem, man. You want the violence.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, Mark was. I took Mark to the cusp of violence, but you see him. His Chicago was coming out in him a little bit.
Yeah. About to yoke you up like, I love you. Come here. Let me tell you what's happening.
I love that. I'm gonna tell you, like, I know I pissed him off for a little bit, but I love that he's so passionate. I love that.
No, that's good, man. Because you know what, it shows the genuineness of why he does this. I mean, this is the biggest show of the year. You know, all the other shows are aspiring to be like Brick World Chicago, and you know, you want to get to that level. Other shows want to be at that level. So you know, for Mark, it's just, you know, we want to make sure he wants to make sure that every aspect of the show is running smoothly. And this could be a chaotic part where people will say, hey, you know what? I'm not buying that ticket for Friday. I'm just going to come Saturday because it's too wild on Friday for the garage sale. So you don't want that. You know, at the end of the day, you want to make money, you want to make a profit. So he's protecting his baby. And you know, for you, you know, he probably would have caught you in the lobby.
Hey, let me talk to you. Let me holler. Let me
You would have had some people behind you. Okay.
Come on out back to the alley. Come on, the alley. I ain't no rip on that alley. I mean, oh, this is nice.
Get in this car, man. Let's take a ride real quick. Man,
you know, I was just playing, Mark. I was just playing, man. You know, it was just jokes, man. You know, I ain't mean none of it.
Yeah, man, Mark, we love you, man. We love your passion, man. That's not gonna stop us from going to these garage sales, man. We gotta get these.
It's just like you said, though. Like, you know, there's some convention owners or promoters that really don't care about the prevention, but Mark cares about it. So, you know, I like that. I like that a lot.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
It's a small world after all. Yeah.
It's a small world after all. They did it. They did it. Get your pocketbook ready, friend. Get your pocketbook ready because Mickey about to smack you in the face. All right. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Lego has released the Disney Main Street USA. So this is a replica. When you go to Disneyland or Disney World, you go down and it's one main street that lets you into the parks, and everything looks like an old town, like townhomes and stuff like that. But there's shops, there's stores, there's stuff like that. And so there was so much like leakage and speculations over this set that now it's finally out. And you know, I'm gonna tell you, I'm pleased about this set because you know we're not getting a bunch of mascots for minifigs. We're getting actually like crew members, people who actually work the event. That you know you get a Minnie Mouse in there. It looks like you get Minnie and Mickey Mouse in there, and you get some Disneyland goers, right? And you get the fire truck that they parade on too. I like that. You get the little popcorn, like you know when you go in there and all of you get there's a popcorn stand there too. There's the virtual arcade where you can get all your snacks.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. You know, you got the Toy Emporium too. Disney Fireland Department. You know, that's like a sort of like a little backdrop to one of the stores or whatever. Brother, they got all kinds of shades of people in here. All kinds of shades. That's why I think this is a winner, right? This is a winner. This thing's like what, close to $400.
$379, man. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, $390.
$399, man. It's like $400. I told you Mickey was about to smack you. It's like $250 to get in the park.
Listen, man. You said it, man. This is a winner. And I'm gonna echo your sentiment, man. This is a winner. This is the type of set that you want your children to build, and then you want to take them to the park. So I was privileged. I'm privileged enough to say that I was able to bring my son to Disneyland when he was 3 years old, when he turned 3. And we were walking on that main street, man, and the set encapsulate the magic of that area.
Yeah.
The like you said, the fire station. You have the different shades of people. You have Mickey and Minnie, but the way that they built the houses, the architecture is so Disneyfied, if that makes sense. Like the colors is vibrant. You look like you're in the park. And if you went in and you brought the Magic Kingdom, you brought the castle, you put that castle right in your center, and you get this. Oh my gosh, you're gonna recreate Disney World and the magic of Disney World. I think that whoever designed this with Disney and the Lego group, they took their time. This is someone who has been to these parks, who have experienced these parks. You have every type of person that can be represented. There's even a little boy in a wheelchair, man.
Yeah.
In this, and
so
again,
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's what I mean. Like this is exactly what the type of set you want to get when you are a big fan of Disney and Disney World. This is the set. So yeah, this is great.
It features 3 buildings. It's a fire station with the Walt Disney Family Apartment, Emporium, and Crystal Arcade. There's also a fire truck, popcorn wagon with popping function. I didn't know that. 16 Lego minifigures you're going to get. That's Disney minifigure characters you're going to get. It's Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, 7 park guests, the Dapper Dan's Quartet, the fire department chief, a popcorn seller, and an Emporium seller. The Emporium is a big thing because when you go in there, there's all kind of knickknacks and all kind of memorabilia that you can buy, and they have those things that you can build in this set inside the Emporium. That's a big deal. So they're hitting all these things. It's about close to 4,000 pieces. It's 3,899 pieces, right? So like 3,900 pieces all together. And so, you definitely I think that this was the right amusement park feature to do as a set, because like you said, it's the most iconic, because this is the walk that you take to the theme parks. And it's the most happiest place, like without actually getting on one of the rides. Like it's the most happiest place because there's food there, there's shops there, people, you got the quartet down there, they're singing, so, and the music is playing. So this is definitely one of the most iconic parts of the park.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if you know about this park, you got the parades that come down, you got Mickey and Minnie. This is a day one set for sure. So I'll definitely spurge that money just to get the set.
Yeah, indeed. Day one. It's nostalgia purposes, y'all. Nostalgia.
All right, man. Next topic. TED Talk, man. This is a forum where people come and they talk about their careers, they talk about their lives, they talk about stuff that they love and that they are interested in. That's what TED Talk's all about. So TED Talk and the Lego group came together and they did an event right here in New York City, even though I am not in New York City, I'm in New Jersey, and I said right here, but New Jersey and New York are pretty much the same thing.
Right across the Hudson River. Right
across the Hudson River, the George Washington Bridge, Lincoln Tunnel, the Verrazano, the Gotham Bridge. There's so many ways. Anyway, but yeah, they did an event, and this event was basically about Lego play. So the Lego group and the Lego Foundation joined forces to make play a priority in homes, schools, and communities around the world. And that is what Lego Foundation is all about. If you don't know what Lego Foundation is, I had a chance to get some information regarding Lego Foundation because I wanted to see how can we get Lego to different places in the Caribbean, because it is very hard for them to get Lego out there. And I had a great conversation, and then COVID took place, and those conversations kind of went, and I never really followed up. But that's basically what this whole entire TED Talk. We had individuals from different walks of life. You had different influencers who actually came out to speak with some of these different partners and other people who were talking, people who are educators who use Lego in their classes, all connected to Lego education. So, you know, this is a great thing. We want to be able to get more eyes on Lego as an educational tool. For those who don't know, my entire career, my business is centered around educating kids and how to build with Lego, creatively, I should say. So this is a very great event. I'm trying my best to be as corporate as I can when it comes to this, because at the end of the day, I want to see the Lego Foundation, Lego education, the Lego group thrive in schools and communities. So you saw this. What did you think about the whole TED Talk with Lego?
I think it's brilliant, right? And especially with Lego Play Serious, like Play Serious,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Serious Play.
Yeah, Serious Play. I'm sorry.
That's for
My
corporate.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Serious Play works well with the TED Talk, like, because you know, you go, like you say, you go in the corporate worlds and you're trying to either problem solve or like or you know, reduce the stress, and think outside the box, and you can use that because Lego is tangible, right? You can see it, and and every brick is a representation of something, whether if it's stress, whether if it's managing people, stuff like that, or like trying to solve that puzzle, that problem, right? And so I think that this was a great opportunity to have two entities to connect. Here's where I disconnect. I disconnect because certain, it's going to come off wrong, but I guess certain individuals that represented, you know, the Lego group, somehow they tied them into, and maybe they'll have I don't know, they'd be a keynote speaker, and you know, having the skills of TED Talk or Serious Play helps, because you know, you're doing public speaking. Now, I've been doing public speaking for probably almost 25 years, right? I've been, you know, all around the public safety era and everything like that. Been an instructor, worked at the Boys and Girls Club, and mentor youth, right? I would have loved that opportunity to do that. And in fact, what I'll probably end up doing is actually paying for the class for Serious Play and getting the credentials so I can move forward, right? Because I got an idea. Somebody give me an idea, and so I'm gonna roll with it. But I think that it's good to, you know, I guess, get your feet wet, get your beak wet about, you know, like, especially with TED Talk, because with TED it comes with so many corporations, and there's so much outreach is the word. You're reaching out to like so many outlets out in the world. So I think that this was a great opportunity. I wish they had more tickets or more seats to fill, you know, to just get more people from the land to participate in this, or just different people from the land to take place in the opportunity, not the
Right.
same few.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with you. You know, when it comes to that, one thing that I've learned over my career in this field, you know, kids always ask me, "Hey, do you work for Lego?" I say, "No, I don't work for Lego. I own my own company." So when you own your own company, that means you're going to go about it your own way. You're not going to be connected to a bigger brand. And I understood that, you know, fully. You know, it's something like this. I believe that you need to have representatives who are also in the field. Now, I don't really know all the people that Lego had as representative, or all the ambassadors that were there as representative, and how they're in the field and how that works. You know, do they educate kids? Do they do different workshops? You know, all the stuff that, you know, they're trying to promote in the schools and the communities. Do these individuals live that lifestyle? Can they speak to their own personal experiences. You know, those are the people you definitely want to make sure you have to promote these things. And you know, I don't work for the company, so I'm not telling the company how to promote their brand.
Right.
They're doing a great job on their own.
Yeah.
You know, I would have, if I had known about an event like this in just out there, I probably would have threw my hat in the ring, you know, because you know, I've done keynotes where I'm talking about the things that I do, you know, and that's what it's all about. You want to educate, but you can't educate people if you have no life experience or no experience in the field.
Right.
Right. So I'm not going to
experience.
I'm not going to go I'm not going to go talk to a group of doctors. I don't got no medical license. I don't know what I'm doing. So, you know, I just think, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we want to make sure that the people who are representing the company have those experiences. And I'm not saying the ones who went don't have the experience. I just want to make sure that everybody has a shot, you know, and it's the right people who are getting those shots.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's well played. Like, you know, and I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's just that, you know, instead of it's the same group of a group of people, it's the same group of people going to, you know, to these events, switch it up. You know, that's what I'm saying. Just switch it up because it's the same faces and they're getting all of the opportunities versus the bottom half of the people that, you know, serve you in the land. And, you know, I'm trying to, you know, I'm not trying to be, what is it, envious or jealous of it, you know, because that was a great opportunity. And here's what I say, like, I'm not jealous of it because I'm gonna get my certification. I'm gonna still do the same stuff. So, but that would have been a great opportunity for somebody that does public speaking on a regular basis. If they sent me, I'm bringing you. We could take those skills back to our communities too. So, you know, I think that it's you need to change some faces. That's the best way I could say. You need to change some faces with the opportunities. So,
just make it a rotation or something. Lego
Jynx.
Oh, people still do that. People still do that. I used to hate that in school, man.
Me too.
Jynx can't say nothing.
Jynx jerks. That's what they were. Jynx jerks. So I'm minding my business, right? And Corey slides me a Jynx jerk, right? So Lego Pokemon is coming out with all kinds of different Pokemon. They spit them out real fast, right? And so there's one called Jynx, right? There's a Jynx Lego, right? And it's when it was in the anime TV show, it was very controversial because it was that word that we talked about this on the show already. It was the blackface, right? And this one, you know, kind of mirrored that. And then I think they kind of did away with that and you never seen it anymore. But it's still a Pokemon, it's still around, like it's still a character Pokemon, it's still around, right? And so someone out there in jerk world decided to, hey, you know what? Let me make one, you know, a digitally rendered one. It looks like an AI made it, an AI one, and they put it on a Lego box with the Pokemon label on it, and it's a blackface Jynx. So, and we're back to this again. So, you know, and we were talking previously, right? And I don't like people making jokes about other ethnic people and other people races and stuff like that. You know, even the thing with Drewski, I think he was out of line with that too. You know, to him, oh, it was just a joke. I'm a professional, you know, a comedian. Nah, you know, yeah, you're a professional comedian, but there's a line to everything because, you know, it's better to be courteous, right? And so here we talking about everybody's favorite pastime about the Lego, and then I made it racial, right? And it's not Lego themselves; it's the people outside that you know gravitate towards this hobby of ours that are, you know, trying to, you know, distinguish here.
So you know me, I like to do some research while we talk about certain topics, right?
Yes.
So Jynx, this Pokemon Jynx was originally designed with black skin in the 90s. Right? Because a lot of people don't know that Pokemon began a lot earlier than what we know. I remember Pokemon around 96, 97. Pokemon's been around since the early 90s back in Japan. So, but it says, excuse me, it says that Nintendo changed its skin tone to purple back in 2002. This recoloring was a direct response to international criticism where the character's design is widely perceived as a resemblance of an offensive blackface caricature.
Yes.
So they even knew that having a jet black face with pink lips and blonde hair, how that could be perceived as something racial. So they changed it to purple. You know, so this individual who decided to do that rendering, they did that rendering, you know, despite of the fact that back in 2002, they've changed it. You know, it immediately reminded me of the topic that we had about, sorry to bring this up, Brick World.
It was
what happened in Brick World last year.
Right?
Where, you know, we saw what we saw.
Scene.
You know, so it always comes back. And you mentioned Drewski and everything like that. And you know, it's been wide known that, you know, blackface has always been seen as a very derogatory racial gesture towards black people. Because that's what they used to do. They didn't hire black actors during a certain time, so they just gave white actors, put blackface on them, and they just went ahead and they acted like they were black. That's basically one part of it. You know, when it comes to this, I mean, unfortunately, the current climate that we're in, a lot of the racial stuff that was very offensive a few years ago is coming right back.
Around.
There are people who are of high leadership that don't see a problem in it. So if they don't see a problem in it, why would someone in the gutter see a problem with it? You know what I'm saying? So you know, and this is no fault to Lego, because Lego didn't promote this nor put this out. This is some rando who did this. So let's not give this no oxygen, folks. You know, let's not give it no oxygen. You know, at the end of the day, we're gonna get these great sets. I'm looking forward to some of the new sets that are coming out for Pokemon. But definitely a topic that we should touch on next time is people are comparing Mega Bloks to Lego when it comes to Pokemon, and some people are saying Mega Bloks is getting the edge. I don't know, but we'll talk about it.
All right.
Are alt bricks system needed? Is an alt brick system needed? So you said Eastern Bricks, they weigh in on an alt brick system. What exactly are you talking about? Is there are we looking at another way of building? I'm a little confused as to what kind of system do we need other than what we know.
Daggone, everybody got music on their daggone. This is a picture. Everybody got pictures. All right. So alt brick meaning alternative. There's an alternative to Lego, right? So is there a better alternative to Lego? So Eastern Brick, he or she has a Instagram, and they did a little feed. It's pretty nice, right? And they built some. I believe it's. I believe that Eastern Brick is the creator of these Horizon sets that we see on the screen. And so I think it looked like he was printing them, like he was like printing them by like 3D printing them, right? And so which would be a lot cheaper, because all you have to do is build the filament, and you if you already have the print instructions to make the parts that you need, then voila. So he makes an article about Lego's patent expired 1978, and other brands still copycats, right? So he goes on to say, we don't call custom keyboards knockoffs. When Cherry MX's keyboards patent expired 2014, competitors didn't just copy it, they improved it. Today, nobody calls a Gateron Cherry knockoff. Gateron is a better improvement, right? The same thing, it happens with toy bricks, but the stigma hasn't it hasn't faded, right? We still look upon like them as knockoffs. So what's actual knockoff? Taking an official set or stealing an independent designer's mock instructions and selling it on AliExpress without paying the creator a cent. That's a knockoff. That's
Right.
true. Why we actually need alt bricks? Lego is a global company and they are never going to mass produce a 7,400 piece custom set. It's too expensive and the demand is too small. All bricks are the only way that to big ambitious builds for a friendly wallet. Says not all alt bricks are equal in quality and ethics, right? So some brands are copy designs outright with lower quality bricks. Some steal off custom designers. Some pass it off as their own. Consider those factors before deciding which alt brick brands to try. So, with that said, does that change your mind?
I don't know, man. I was part of a show called Lego Masters. I don't know if you knew that. So I feel like I got a loyalty to the brand. But however, there is a really good point because there are some things that Lego just won't do, and they don't have any push to do. So I was just looking at Eastern Bricks, and for those who don't know, let me just read this real quick. Eastern Bricks, often known for producing large-scale custom builds, like the Horizon machine kit, designed by a mock creator, uses compatible, high-quality interlocking ABS plastic building bricks. So in other words, they use something very similar to Lego. And if you are looking for other brands that use similar high quality, 100% quality alt brick system, you have companies like this is Kata Bricks, Kobe, Mega, and then Blue Bricks. So yeah, the competition is starting to build up. People are starting to get an idea of how to design and create alternate bricks from Lego. Lego is too big. Lego is too big. That's just what it is. I always look at it and I always bring it to wrestling. WWE is the biggest wrestling brand in the world. But you have other wrestling brands that are not as big, but they're very competitive. You have AEW, you have New Japan, you have all these other wrestling entities that are promoting high quality wrestling matches that are better than WWE's quality match. But at the end of the day, I'm only going to hear from WWE because they have such a bigger platform. So I don't see nothing wrong with obtaining alternative bricks, or alt bricks. I don't see nothing wrong in it. I just think it's healthy competition because this is going to help Lego step their game up. Because if someone's galvanizing a certain part of the segmentation, then it's going to be like, okay, maybe we need to start thinking about something a little bit different in this area too. So all ships rise when the tide rises as well. So that's how I see it.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah, I think now that Eastern Bricks breaks it down like that, I can have a more open mind to it. And what I mean is that, like I said, if it's a set that Lego just won't make or whatever, or if it's something that Lego never made, okay. If I'm just a set builder, and like for instance, LUMIBRICKS, right? I might get in trouble for naming all them names like that, but but like for instance, like with them, they offer lights in their sets, and they offer sets that are different from Lego, right? And so I see some Lego lovers that are set builders. They're hardcore set builders. They go out and buy a bunch of sets, and then they go buy the other stuff, and they buy the other stuff, and they love it just the same. So I that I'm okay with. But what he said was that if you run into some of these companies that are making the real knockoffs, like the Green Grocer, the Jazz Club, the Star Trek Enterprise, and it's all at that point, you're putting bad juju in the game, and that's never any good.
Yeah, I mean, look at Brickmania. You know, they do all military sets.
Yes.
Lego is not going to touch it. So
Yeah.
you need something to feed that, you know, that need that you might have to build and recreate these military settings.
Yeah.
You have companies like that.
I wouldn't even mind, you know, and I do a lot of Brick Mania but they use Lego components. Now they'll print some 3D stuff, you know, outside of it, but it's like 99% Lego.
Right. I get that. Y'all stop messing up the mojo, please.
Is Lego less than LUMIBRICKS? Now, some spectators are seeing a lot of land members walk away from Lego, and all of a sudden they stop pushing those Lego bricks and they're pushing LUMIBRICKS. You know, they got the full out ambassadorship with Lumi, and they just left one brand and now they pushing another brand. They said all these good things about how they want to, you know, spend time on, you know, doing the stuff that they love and do the sets that they love and do everything for their channel. They want to do less reviews, and then they turn around and do the same stuff that they did for Lego for this new company. Now, you know, he had me. He did. He had me, and I'm like, man, yeah, you know what? He want to go do his own thing. That's cool. But then you turn around and you got the Kim Kardashian knockoff girlfriend. That's what Kanye did. He had Kim Kardashian, and then when he found himself a lookalike.
Yeah, he bought a budget Kim Kardashian. Yeah, got that budget Kim Kardashian wearing Saran wrap as clothing.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. That's what you got to do sometimes. I get it. But listen, man. Listen, you just said you gonna get in trouble for mentioning all these other brand names. Let me do that. Let me mention these brand names. I'm not part of this. All right.
You are.
I'm with you. I get it. I'm with you. But you know, if they say something, you can be like, "Nah, man, that was all Corey, man. You know, he crazy."
Well, hell, crazy, I'm gonna tell you, like I'm a straight shooter, but Alex Nunez, him and his buddy on his show, they were talking about leaks, and Lance got on us about talking about leaks, because if we talk about leaks, then we're verifying that the leak is true. But they was down there he was just rapping the taste about all the stuff that was coming out, and I'm like, I'm sitting there, and this was just days ago, so I'm sitting there just looking like, what?
Here's the thing, man. I'm on the LumiBrick website right now. I know. I shouldn't be on their website. I know.
Yeah, shame.
I'm on the LumiBricks website. Number one, they have the lighting kits. You mentioned it.
Yeah.
That alone is enough for people to switch sides.
I ain't gonna lie. It puts you up in the game. It puts you up because it's like, oh, what?
Big time. You don't got to go to Amazon. You don't got to run wires and try to figure out what kind of power source you need. They've done the work for you.
Yeah, you ain't got to undo the set to put the lights in. Yeah,
exactly. And on top of that, man, I'm just saying, man, looking at these sets are pretty fun to look at, man.
Yeah,
these sets are pretty fun to look at. Looking at certain things. Anyone who's ever been to a Lego convention and you know anything about New Hiroshima, if you've seen that massive collaboration,
that crazy cyberpunk, it looked like a real city.
It looked like a real city, and LumiBricks have a lot of sets that have that same vibe, and they have the same colors. Like you can build that. I could see you building that in your house. Turn off all the lights, turn the lights on, and then boom, you're in a different world.
Funny thing about it is, if you got a layout like that, you'll definitely need to turn the TV on because you'll be so captivated about that build.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I'm sure LumiBricks they got builders who are creating these sets.
Yeah.
Maybe some may have worked for Lego one time or another, or they're just really talented mock builders. Yeah. But you know, again, the lighting puts you on a different pedestal. And if Lego once ambassadors are tired of the status quo, or maybe they're not getting those opportunities that they've been looking for, or maybe they're just told, here, these are the sets you're gonna promote. I don't even know anything about these sets. I want to do these sets. No, we kind of need you and your platform to promote this type of set. Maybe they're just tired of that, and they say, you know what, I'm going to walk away from this. And LumiBricks is like, hey, we'll give you this set. You can promote it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Whenever you want. And maybe they feel a little bit more freedom doing that. I don't know, but Lego has been kind of like slow walking the lighting kits, the custom lighting kits that they can add to the sets. I don't understand why. We're still trying to promote the smart brick. Now they're talking about smart brick is in the Mario sets, is in, we're going to talk about it a little later, but they're putting them in popular sets now. I mean, Star Wars is popular, but yo, how many Star Wars sets do you need to get? You know, so they're trying to put it into something else. Give us a lighting kit, Lego, please. Give us a lighting kit. We don't care about some brick where you put it in front of some character and makes noises. Nobody care about that. You know, put the lighting kit inside the sets so that way people can light up their world. That's what people want, man. Stop playing games, Lego.
Yeah, that's true. Like, you know, if they, I think they would be onto something. Take that smart brick and try to pivot and make that smart brick be part of the lighting system and light some stuff up. Like,
you just connect it
really
and
smart, right?
You have a little switch, boom.
And
wireless.
And here's the thing. And here's the thing. Like with that brick, if it's smart enough, you can it can, you know, shoot off patterns. It could change colors to the patterns. It could do all these, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then plus on top of that, you got lights that make sound. So like, you know, that would be the angle that I would go with this smart brick, you know.
Smart brick, take off the light. Boom.
Boom.
Smart brick, turn the light on. Boom.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Lego. You're welcome.
They don't hear you.
They don't.
So many ideas, but they don't hear you. They don't hear you.
Nothing. Oh man.
Yeah, but my thing is like with that, just, you know, it's hard to take a person serious if you say one thing and you turn around and do another. And maybe I'm grinding an axe, but you said one thing to your people, but then you turn around and do another. So
that's corporate, man. That's corporate. You know, they'll tell you one thing, they'll turn around and do something else because somebody got fatter pockets. You know, somebody got fatter pockets than you. That's all it is. Speaking of fat pockets, actually, this really doesn't connect to fat pocket. I don't know why I said it. Oh yeah, but it is going to be fat pockets if you have it because you can own it. Now, video games have been blowing up in Lego. We have been getting a lot of characters, been getting a lot of video games, Sonic, Fortnite, Minecraft, Super Mario. Finally, we got the antithesis. We have the arch nemesis of Super Mario. And I'm not talking about Bowser. If you know, you know. Mario's first introduction to video game was in someone else's video game. If you didn't know that. Donkey Kong. He was in Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong was wilding out. Princess Peach was up there. He was throwing barrels. And who was going to save the Princess Peach? Mario. But he was doing it in someone else's video game. He was doing it in Donkey Kong's video game. All right, in the early 80s. So now we're finally getting a Donkey Kong set. And today, Lego just revealed a little sneak preview. No sets revealed, but you see the barrel. You see the barrel rolling. Listen, man, I was a fan of Donkey Kong growing up. I was a fan of when Donkey Kong had his own game, and then Diddy Kong came around, and then the whole lore of the Kongs and stuff like that. I'm a fan of Donkey Kong, so I am very curious to see what kind of sets we're getting. I'm assuming we're probably going to get a Bowser-sized Donkey Kong, and hopefully we get some minifigs, and hopefully they introduce Mario as a minifig in Donkey Kong. It's only right that you introduce the first Mario minifig in the first Donkey Kong set. That's my opinion, but what do you think, bro?
We actually had a Donkey Kong, a brick-built Donkey Kong, and it was in the Mario sets, the one with the interactive one that you with the games. So you know, he was there. The safe bet is like you said, you know, you get a Bowser-sized Donkey Kong, and they call it a day. A better bet would be that they do a Mario Kart. They do a Mario Kart with the Donkey Kong in it. So instead of getting one Mario Kart for the year, you get two, and I bet you people will be buying them things up. You know, So I think that's probably, but you're probably right on the money. I think the safer bet is that you get a Bowser-sized Donkey Kong, and you know, nostalgia wins all the time. So that's what I think. But yeah, it's good to see that those things are coming around. And yeah, this would definitely be a day one because that's my era. And so I love the video games and the old school ones are good too because the young kids today can't play them. They don't know how to. So
no, nothing about it.
no clue.
I was gonna ask you, man, what if? Because
Mhm.
I'm looking at that the Mario Kart that you was talking about with Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
and stuff. So I was thinking, man, what if we get an arcade version of Donkey Kong and Mario,
Now,
like how we have Pac-Man? We got the
the Pac-
Pac-Man arcade. What if
you
we
might
got that?
do
You know,
something.
what
You
would you
might.
think about that?
I think that would be a big hit too because not only this is that you'll get the second console for the year because Sega Genesis is already out. So now if they do, like you said, was it the arcade or a pinball machine?
Wait, you talking about that drink coaster? That drink coaster?
Yeah, yeah, let me
Sega Genesis. That drink coaster.
put that right there.
That micro build. You talking about that?
Yeah. So you have that, and then you'll have not just two, but you'll have 1.5, 1.25
Mm,
gaming consoles for the year, right?
mhm.
So I think that would be pretty cool if they did an arcade like they did the Pac-Man or a pinball machine that actually is a fully functional pinball machine that's Donkey Kong because there's many Donkey Kong pinball machines that I can remember going into the arcade. I can
Yeah,
remember them.
yeah. I could definitely see that. I mean, they're definitely tapping into a fan base that
Mhm.
is going to continue to like these sets.
Yeah.
So, you come out with Donkey Kong, the next step is, man, the next step is probably like a Super Smash Brothers type of thing,
Yeah.
or Star Fox. All these. There's so many different
Yeah.
characters that they can go with, man.
Yeah.
And they can create, and they have designers for days that could do all that stuff.
Oh
So,
yeah, absolutely.
I think sky's the limit. I think this is definitely going to be a day one once that set comes out. I'm looking forward to it. I know y'all looking forward to it. Just Lego just continue to deliver these good sets, man.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm not Lego. I'm not leaving you for LumiBricks. Even if you kick me out of the land, I still love you, Lego. I'm not doing the Lumi. I'm not doing the Lumi. I'm a Lego brand fan, and that's what it is for me. Lumi have to make something super epic, super crazy epic. And after all those epic sets that I got, those Ninjago sets I just got.
Mm, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going
Mm-mm,
nowhere.
mm-mm,
You ain't going nowhere.
mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Well, you know what? Lego knows how to keep people happy.
Yep.
And that is what it's all about at the end of the day. So speaking of keeping people happy,
Mhm.
those errors that we had in the beginning of the show, Manny, Mark, I hope that Mel made you happy today, because it's all M's, you got Mel, Manny, Mark. I'm Corey.
Oh, he was
I'm
on
clean.
fire,
He is
baby. He
clean,
was on fire. I'm known to get under people's skin. He was on fire, baby. He was
He was gonna get you. He was gonna get you. You gonna see you walking in that lobby. He was gonna
Oh,
throw one of them barrels at you. He was gonna throw the barrel at you. Bam! Take you
gotcha.
out. Take you out. Take you out. You're like, what, man? The set's coming out. That's all.
Yeah,
Nah, but
man.
but all jokes aside, man, we always try to do better on these
Yeah,
shows, man.
we do.
Every show is different,
Yep.
and we always try to deliver fun, entertaining news and just our perspective. Everything that we've said here is just our perspective with a little
Just
bit of truth sprinkled in it
yep.
and some shenanigans because we from Jersey, so
Yeah, we gotta spice it up a little bit. Spice it up just a little bit.
just a little bit. But next time, man, don't spice it up too much for Mark, or he's gonna jump on one of these things, man. These
But that's
streams.
what it is. It's like I want him to see that by by trying to stomp out, which, you know, like a problem that needed to be stomped out, you created another. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, nothing more. Like, people were trying to sell those tickets, man, is what I was trying to tell you, but you didn't listen.
Yeah, I tell you, man. Like you said, adult people ruins Lego.
They ruin Lego. Adult ruin Lego all the time, every time.
Every time.
Look at your boy running from land into LUMIBRICKS. We done ruined it.
Well, you know what? We hope we didn't ruin your night. We hope you guys have a great night, man. Listen, man, Chicago is right around the corner. I know you're going. I'm going. I'm bringing some stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to build some stuff, but they keep giving me sets. I'm trying to build some stuff for the show.
Lego, you ain't got time. You ain't got no time. You got to build these sets for us. You got to build these sets for us. Yeah, that's it. All right, man. Well, you know what? You still got time, man. You got a couple weeks, man. Hopefully you can do something.
Yeah, I'll get down to it and get it going.
All right. Well, until next time, folks.
All right.
That's Mel. I'm your boy Corey, and we'll try to do better next time.
We'll do better next time.
Good night, America.
Good night, America. You're still #1 in my book.